Hi, and welcome to Tanesha's Tips. Since it's the beginning of the year, I wanted to share with you guys that, if you're an Amazon Prime member, you can get Amazon First Reads, which is usually sent out the first of every month, which means that usually they have one book, but towards the end of 2024, they started giving us two books to choose from. They have about, I want to say, 7 books total for you to choose from. This month, they're actually giving you the opportunity to download 2 free books. I'm going to give you a synopsis of the books that they have, for you to choose from. And at the end, I will tell you which ones I decided to select. So the first book is a family drama, and it's called The Rules of Fortune. It's by Danielle Prescott, and she is supposedly the author of Token Black Girl. I've never heard of her before or her first book, but it does sound interesting. A synopsis of The Rules of Fortune is, according to Mindy Kaling, it's a gripping novel about power, money, and secrets. A daughter's investigation into her family's history threatens to destroy the legacy in a gripping novel about power, money, and secrets by the author of Token Black Girl. On their Martha's Vineyard estate, the Carter family prepares to celebrate. But when the billionaire patriarch dies right before his 70th birthday, the media is quick to question the future of the multi-industry conglomerate that makes the Carters living legends. Amid the succession crisis, his daughter Kennedy is questioning her father's past. Kennedy is an aspiring filmmaker, and the documentary she planned to present at her father's party begins an inquest into the life of a man she never really knew. A thoughtful outlier in an elite and fiercely guarded dynasty, she is not interested in keeping up the appearances that define her impeccably poised mother or in the capitalist games her ruthless brother plays. Kennedy wants to only understand the origins of their empire and the lethally ambitious man behind it. That understanding comes at a cost. As a twisted history emerges, the fault lines in the family grow. Torn between morality and the promise of maintaining wealth, Kennedy must decide what's most important, the Carter legacy or exposing the shocking truth of how it was built. Very interesting. Now there's a short story by Lee Childs called 11 Numbers. This one is about an American mathematician's assignment in Russia spirals into a high-stakes maze of shifting loyalties and intrigue in a compulsive short thriller by #1 New York Times bestselling author Lee Child. Nathan Tyler is an unassuming professor at a middling American university with rather obscure specialty in mathematics. In short, a nobody from nowhere. So why is the White House calling? Summoned to Washington, D.C. for a top-secret briefing, Nathan discovers that he's the key to a massive foreign intelligence breakthrough. Reading between the lines of a cryptic series of equations, he could open a door straight into the heart of the Kremlin and change the global balance of power forever. All he has to do is get to a meeting with a renowned Russian mathematician who created it. But when Nathan crashes headlong into a dangerous new game, the odds against him suddenly look a lot steeper. Interesting too. A domestic thriller called Into the Fall by Tamara L. Miller. Okay. This one. From debut author Tamara L. Miller comes a suspenseful psychological thriller tracking the mysteries of a seemingly mundane life as they come to light in the vast, unforgiving Canadian wilderness. For better or for worse, Sarah Anderson has it all: a thriving career, a nice home in Ottawa, 2 young kids, and a marriage coming apart at the seams. Then her husband Matthew vanishes without a trace during a family vacation up north. Sarah and her children are nearly lost among the slumbering lakes, treacherous cliffs, and brooding forests of the Canadian Shield, a glacier-scraped realm of ancient beauty and terror. It is a world away from the safety of the suburbs, and a big storm is brewing. A kind rural lawman comes to their aid and takes an interest in the case. The trail goes cold, however, launching Sarah into a year-long odyssey to find her husband. On the way, she must reconnect with her estranged sister and duck the suspicions of a slick city police officer. But that's nothing compared to unearthing the dark secrets buried deep in the granite of her marriage and in herself. Okay, now. Okay, and for the historical fiction, Glamorous Notions by Megan Chance. A costume designer's past casts a long shadow over her well-construed lies in this intriguing story about stolen identities, friendships, and betrayal from the author of A Splendid Ruin and a Dangerous Education. Hollywood, 1955. As a head costume designer for Lux Pictures, Lena Taylor hears startling confessions from the biggest movie stars. She knows how to keep their secrets. After all, none of their scandals can match her own. Lena was once Elsie Gruner, the daughter of Ohio dressmaker. Her gift for fashion helped her win a coveted spot at an art academy in Rome. While in Italy, she became enthralled by the charismatic Julia, who drew her into a shadowy world of jazz clubs, code words, and mysterious deliveries. When one of Julia's intrigues ended in murder, Elsie found herself in the middle of a bewildering, sinister international plot, so she ran. After fleeing to LA, Elsie became Lena, but she's never stopped looking over her shoulder. Now, as her engagement to a screenwriter throws her into the spotlight, she's terrified her facade won't hold up. Will she figure out the truth about her past before everything falls apart? Women's fiction, Some Other Time by Angela Brown. A hopeful, funny, and untraditional love story about second chances, the ripple effects of love, and a myriad ways in which the simplest lives have the power to change the world. The next step in Ellie Baker's marriage, divorce. She and her husband are heading to Florida to break it to the family. No great drama in store, or no great drama to share. After 20 years of marriage, they've just fallen out of love. Simple. Not to their college-age daughter, Maggie, who is devastated, or to Ellie's father, Frank, who grows as cold as a retiree can in Orlando. As for Ellie's mother, Bunny, no. She doesn't want to hear it. After a dreadful weekend, Ellie and Jonah return home to New Jersey with hearts and minds still set on a split. Until the extraordinary morning, Ellie wakes up to an alternate version of her present day, one in which she's passing a stranger named Jonah, never married. Over the span of an inexplicable week, Ellie sees how her world and the world of everyone she loves unfolded through a different course in time. And this time would change everything all over again. Okay, and our dark fantasy option is Voiced Like a Hyacinth. I don't think I'm saying that right, but y'all know what I mean when y'all see the picture. It's by Mallory Pearson. 5 young women eager for success rely on the unspeakable to make their dreams come true in a chilling novel about martyrdom, ritual, and obsession by the author of We Ate the Dark. Art student Joe Kozak and her fellow classmates and her best friend, Caroline Finch, Amrita, and Saz are one another's muses. So close they have their own language and so devoted to the craft that they'll do anything to keep their inspiration alive, even if it means naively resorting to the occult to unlock their creativity and to curse their esteemed, if notoriously creepy professor. They soon learn the horrible price to be paid for such a transgressive ritual. In its violent aftermath, things are changing. Joe is feeling unnervingly haunted by something inexplicable. Their paintings, once prodigious and full of life, are growing dark and unhealthy, and their journey together as women, students, and artists is starting to crumble. To right the wrong they've done, these 5 desperate friends will take their obsession a step too far. When that happens, there will be no turning back. Okay. Crime thriller, The Killing Plains by Sherry Rankin. From the winner of the CWA's debut Dagger Award. 2 victims, 20 years apart, one elusive killer. Crescent Bluff, West Texas. Everybody knows everybody, and everybody has a secret. When a boy is found dead with the skin of a hare's head in his hands, everyone knows who killed him. Willis Newland, just released from prison after serving 20 years for an identical murder. But what if everyone's wrong? Detective Collie Newland reluctantly agrees to investigate a case that seems to involve the whole town, including her dead husband's extended family. But the deeper she digs, the more secrets she unearths. And as threats against her escalate, Collie realizes someone is willing to kill to keep their secrets. This is a good one. Romantic comedy, There's Something About Mira by Sonali Dev. From USA Today, best-selling author Sonali Dev comes the heartfelt story of a woman determined to reunite a lost ring with its owner, who ends up finding herself along the way. Mira Salvi has the perfect life, a job she loves, a fiancé everyone adores, and the secure future she's always imagined for herself. Really, she hasn't a thing to complain about, not even when she has to go on her engagement trip to New York alone. While playing tours in the city, Mira chances upon a lost ring, and her social media post to locate its owner goes viral. With everyone trying to claim the ring, only one person seems to want to find its owner as badly as Mira does. Journalist Krish Hale, brooding and arrogant, he will do anything to get to write the story. As Krish and Mira reluctantly join forces and jump into adventures of tracing the ring back to where it belongs, Mira begins to wonder if she is in the right place in her own life. She had to have found this ring for a reason, right? Maybe, like the owner of the lost ring, her happy ending hasn't been written yet either. It started up and then it went down to me. I don't know. That's just me. And we have another historical fiction book called Their Shadows Deep by Peter Golden. The author of Nothing is Forgotten takes a dark look at power gone too far, imagining the connection between JFK's presidential campaign and an ex-cop's investigation into her husband's murder. In 1960, Senator John F. Kennedy makes a historic run for the White House. Despite concerns about his Catholicism, Kennedy's outward charm is winning the country over, but his inner demons are putting his candidacy in danger and risk destroying his political career. That same year, Caitlin Russo, a former cop turned reporter, is devoting her skills to finding her husband's killer. His job as a CIA operative posed its fair share of risk, but when Caitlin discovers his notes about the case that led to his death, she knows there is more to the story than the simple tragedy. As Caitlin and Kennedy search for the people responsible for upending their lives, some ugly truths about American politics and foreign affairs come to light, and Caitlin finds herself in a web of deceit and shattered hopes, realizing that heroes aren't always who they seem. Okay, this sounds like it's steeped in a little bit of the truth. which I'm sure a lot of these books are. But this right here seems like it's a little bit of some stuff that went on for real. Anyway. And the last one is a romance called The Art of Starting Over by Heidi McLaughlin. And this book, in this journey from first love to second chances, New York Times bestselling author Heidi McLaughlin brings a single mom and a widower back home to renew the spark that will light their way forward. Devorah Campbell's life falls apart under the pressure of one truth. Her husband is having an affair with her best friend. So Devorah packs her stuff, her and her daughter's stuff, and their shared heartbreak for small town Oyster Bay, where she grew up. Her relationship with her father is still on the rocks, but Devorah has her brother there, and unexpectedly her brother's best friend. Hayden McKenna lost his wife a year ago and has struggled with single fatherhood ever since. Moving back home with his son is a last but best resort, a chance to start fresh, surrounded by family and old friends. But when Hayden runs into Devorah, his childhood crush, sparks fly as bright as ever. If only he can make her see them too. Amid a swirl of hurt and healing, Devorah and Hayden grow closer, rekindling what they had all those years ago to discover that sometimes a new start means going back to the beginning. Cute. So, those are the 7 books that they are offering for Amazon First Reads. You have until the end of the month, which is the 31st of January, to choose those free books. And if you don't have the Amazon app, all you have to do is put amazon.com/first reads and it should come up. The books that I chose are The Rules of Fortune by Danielle Prescott and Some Other Time by Angela Brown. I just thought that for me, they just seemed like more my speed. Like I would read it, I would be intrigued with like what happened with the family of the first girl and her dad dying. What are their secrets? But there were other books here that I felt like, ooh, I might actually read these, right? Most of which would probably be the domestic thriller and the crime thriller, and probably both the romantic comedy and the romance. So I would probably go back and read those at some point in time. And I'm sure after February 1st, when they're really released, they will probably be on Amazon Unlimited, Kindle Unlimited, if you have those, if you subscribe to it. I do have Amazon Kindle Unlimited too. So if I'm not mistaken, I probably will go back and read these because some of them sound really good. Now, I'm not a dark fantasy or a historical fiction chick, so I probably wouldn't do that. But this women's fiction book that where she was gonna divorce her husband and then she had an alternate ending. I'm curious to see how they're gonna flip that. So those are the 2 that I picked. But yeah, so those are the books for Amazon First Reads for January 2025. I just want to bring that to you guys. I want to thank you for watching and let me know what you guys choose if you were to read it, or if you do think about getting Amazon First Reads. Let me know. I'm interested. But yeah, see you next time.
And plus she do shows. She cover all like hands, knees, and toes. Don't lollygag, no, she just rolls. Then it's on to the next one, on to a fresh one. Ha. Said it's on to the next one, on to a fresh one. Tanesha's tip coming all 3 speakers. Good honest reviews, book shows.